Why saving money is so underrated. So in my previous video, I made a comment that I think that saving money is one of the most underrated tools that we have at our disposal in order to live an amazing life. And I wanted to make a video specifically focusing on this topic because I think that it's so interesting. Why does society kind of shove aside the idea of minimalism, saving money, humbleness, being thankful, grateful, accumulating wealth, and then having time freedom to be able to do what you really want using your unique gifts and skills? And why does it over glamorize spending money, driving fancy cars, living in luxury, going on fancy vacations? Why does it idolize overconsumption and just excessive behavior? And so in this video, I'm going to jump into that subject, and I'm also going to, at the end, focus on the incredible benefits that come out of being financially responsible, frugal, and saving money. So the first idea, which is why does society undervalue saving money? Why is it underrated? And I think that it's a really interesting question. And if you think about it, I think the first place we have to look is where do we get our content, our media, our entertainment? And if you look at the sources of content, media, entertainment, so that's Netflix, YouTube, podcasts, movies, television, radio, newspapers, magazines, music, even though we're in the internet era where things have changed a lot, still the majority of funding for these media platforms comes from advertising dollars and corporate sponsorships. So the underlying vibe, I think, behind everything that is produced is this level of consumption, this level of taking on debt. And it's not really within anyone's self-interest to advocate to you to save money, whereas it's completely within people's self-interest to advocate to you to buy their product or to take on a loan to get a product or whatever it may be. It's very much rewarded by our market economy to do that. And what I think is fascinating is that when you look at previous generations of humans, from what I can gather from reading books, from talking to older people, from everything I've consumed, it seems like older people, older generations saved a lot more money than people do today. And what's interesting about that is that they had even more monopolized media platforms. Like they only had a few options. There was only so many broadcasting networks. There was only so many publishing companies. There was only so many people who made movies. And so they had a very limited amount of content information that was all centered around advertising. Yet I think it was very much so ingrained into the culture to be frugal and to save money. And I think it's because they had harder times. Like they went through the Great Depression. They saw money evaporated overnight in many different capacities. And so I think that they were more focused on frugality and saving money. Whereas today, it's well documented that the millennial generation is the most indebted generation of all time. And people's savings rates are extremely low nowadays. And so while people are saving way less money today, it's actually conversely way easier to save money today. And so at the end of the day, I think the reason why saving money is undervalued is because it's not within anyone's self-interest to teach you that. You know, now that we have the internet and we have the ability to make YouTube channels, aka TV shows, or podcasts like radio stations, you do have more people who are advocating, like in this video, for you to save money, and there's more of a community built around that, but it's still extremely rare as a whole. And so why would you want to save money? Why would you do something like that? Why would you have self-discipline and personal responsibility and frugality? Like, why would you want to take on these habits? So if you save 50% of your income and you work for 1 year, by nature of mathematics, you can take a year off. Because if you spent 50% of your income, you would still have 50% of your income to live off for another year. So the short answer for why it's so beneficial to save money is because saving money gives you personal freedom, time freedom, and personal autonomy. Saving money gives you the ability to live the life that you really want to live and to be able to invest in your goals and your dreams. A lot of people in the early retirement community advocate for working, until you're 30 or 35 or 40 and then taking off and not working anymore. But what I found for myself is I think it's amazing to travel in your 20s, to do amazing things in your 20s. And I want to live many different lives. I want to have many different experiences. I want to move to many different places and do many different things. And so what I found for myself is I've taken a lot of time off in my early 20s, And I've used the power of saving 50% of your income, meaning that for every year you work, you get a year of freedom. And so what that could look like for you could mean that you could spend a year reading books and educating yourself, or spend a year traveling, or spend a year starting a business, or spend a year working on a creative project that you've always wanted to engage in, or meeting tons of amazing people, or moving to a new city. Whatever it may be for you, it gives you the freedom to do that. And I think that a lot of people, especially people my age, are maybe working jobs that they're not 100% satisfied with, but maybe they live in a cool city, and maybe they have a lot of cool friends, and maybe they go out on the weekends, and maybe they have some hobbies, and they're basically working to fuel their lifestyle. They're not really saving any money. They don't necessarily know what they want, and they don't really know where they're going, but they just know that they're kind of dissatisfied with where they are. And I think that that's a dangerous position to be in, because if you don't know where you're going or what you want, and you're not really saving money, you're kind of on this hamster wheel of debt and consumerism in which it's very difficult to get off. And so I think it's important to be in the world, but not of it, to be very aware of how our system works, and to be super grateful to live in a capitalist country, because it is insane how blessed we are and how good times are right now compared to any time, any generation, any society for all time in the past. This is the golden age. This is such an amazing time to be alive, and at the same time, a lot of people will tell you that it's not, and that times are really bad. But if you study history, you'll be like, wait a second, things are really, really good right now. And so I think that a really easy way for people to pull themselves out of bad situations is to take on personal discipline, self-awareness, and to start saving money. Because the person who is dissatisfied saves 50% of their income, in a matter of a few years, they can have a lot of money accumulated. If they study investing, they can have a lot of money accumulated, and they can be able to really engage in the passion that is inside of them. Because at the end of the day, we all have a unique creative ability within us. We all have really unique skills, really unique gifts, really unique talents. And I don't know about you, but for me, I really want to use that. And I really want to spend the majority of my day, every day, within my purpose, within my passion. And for me, saving money seems like such a clear road and such a beneficial road to go down in order to get there. So if you don't agree with this, no worries. I don't want to make a video preaching to anyone to do anything. Rather, this is just something that I feel passionate about, that I wanted to share. So I hope you like this video, and please comment below with what this made you feel, or what this made you think about, or what you would like me to make videos on in the future. And if you're new to the channel, I highly recommend hitting the subscribe button, because every single week I produce unique content related to meditation, minimalism, saving money, and discovering who you really are. So if you like those subjects, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next week. Ciao.